Welcome. Today we're going to explore a powerful psychological trigger that can completely transform your sales dynamic. Imagine a world where clients actively pursue you, eager to prove their worth so you would choose to work with them. This isn't a fantasy. It's a strategic shift we call the red button effect, and it's about to change how you approach every client conversation. Before we begin, don't forget to download a copy of this presentation to make notes, study, and practice the techniques discussed in this training video. You can download the presentation from my training website. For too long, sales professionals have been stuck in an exhausting cycle, chasing prospects, convincing them to buy, and constantly proving their value. This traditional approach leads to burnout and ineffective follow-ups. We're here to introduce a powerful alternative, making clients prove they're qualified to work with you. This simple shift creates inbound demand and eliminates awkward follow-ups. This isn't just theory. This psychological principle has already helped numerous business owners, particularly in the real estate and mortgage sectors, land high-value clients with remarkable consistency. The strategies we'll discuss today are proven to work in your specific industry, delivering tangible results for professionals just like you. Today, we'll cover 4 key areas. First, we'll uncover the core psychological trigger that makes prospects chase you. Second, we'll delve into the science behind why this approach works. Third, you'll learn immediate application strategies with practical scripts and frameworks. Finally, we'll reveal a 4-word phrase that can double your close rates. Have you ever noticed that when you're told not to do something, you suddenly want to do it more? This is a fundamental human tendency, known as psychological reactance. It's the innate desire to resist perceived threats to our freedom. This powerful instinct is at the heart of making clients chase you. In the 1960s, psychologist Jack Brame discovered that people experience intense motivation to restore their freedom when they perceive it as threatened or limited. His key insight, making something feel limited or difficult to obtain dramatically, increases people's desire for it, often regardless of its inherent value. This principle applies universally. Think about children who suddenly want a toy only when another child plays with it, or the allure of an exclusive club with a strict door policy. Even in consumer psychology, products that are frequently sold out or in limited supply become instantly more desirable. Scarcity and exclusivity drive desire. Many business owners try to create fake scarcity, claiming only 3 spots left or offer expires Friday. Prospects see through this manufactured urgency and tune it out. Real psychological reactance involves genuine selectivity. It's about making people feel they need to qualify to work with you, motivating them to prove themselves. When you implement this approach, a critical psychological shift occurs in your prospect's mind. They stop asking, "Do I want this?" and instead begin to ask, "Am I good enough for this?" This subtle but profound change in perspective completely reorients the sales conversation in your favor. People assign higher value to things they must work to obtain. This is why consumers will camp outside stores for limited edition products but ignore the same items on regular shelves. Exclusive clubs with strict policies feel more desirable than open access venues. The perceived difficulty of access elevates its value. Consider 2 scenarios for the exact same service. In the first, it's available to anyone who can pay, and its perceived value is moderate. In the second, it requires qualification, making it exclusive, and its perceived value is dramatically higher. The service and expertise didn't change. Only the context did, transforming its perceived value. A common question arises. This sounds great, but how do I implement this without sounding arrogant or alienating potential clients? This is a critical point. The difference between effective positioning and off-putting arrogance lies entirely in execution. The approach must feel authentic, professional, and genuinely rooted in ensuring client success, not ego. Think about the old way of sales. Endless cold calls, follow-up emails, and constantly chasing prospects. It's an exhausting, often demoralizing, and ultimately ineffective approach. This traditional model positions you as the pursuer, giving all the power to the prospect. The transformation came from one fundamental shift, moving from salesperson to gatekeeper. Instead of convincing prospects to buy, the new approach makes them prove they qualify. This framework has generated significant clients in under 30 minutes, without pitching or pushing. The energy shifts from you applying for their business to them applying for yours. Our gatekeeper method framework has 4 key steps. First, the gatekeeper open, establishing selectivity within the first 60 seconds. Second, the criteria reveal, sharing specific qualification requirements. Third, the mirror close, where you position yourself as having already decided they qualify. Finally, the final filter, confirming their readiness and reinforcing their self-image. In the first 60 seconds, avoid saying, "I'd love to tell you about what I do." Instead, try this. "I'm happy to chat, but I want to make sure this is a good use of your time. If it's not a good fit, I'd rather we both know that up front." Does that sound fair? This immediately establishes you as the gatekeeper. This opening immediately shifts the dynamic. You're not trying to sell, you're trying to qualify. By suggesting it might not be a good fit, you trigger reactance. The prospect's natural inclination is to prove that it is a good fit, increasing their desire and engagement from the very beginning of the conversation. After your gatekeeper open, you must reveal your criteria to avoid sounding like empty posturing. For example, "The reason I ask is because I found this approach works best for people who are already generating revenue but feel stuck. Clients who know their business works but can't figure out why their marketing isn't consistent tend to see results fast. People who need a few weeks to think it over usually end up not moving forward, and I'd hate for that to happen." When you reveal your criteria, prospects will always choose to see themselves as the ideal client. They'll identify with path 1, the good fit, saying, "I'm already making money but stuck. I want results fast." They'll avoid path 2, the poor fit, who needs weeks to think it over. When they choose path 1, they've effectively sold themselves to you. This is where most people fail. Everything has gone well, the conversation flows, then they ask, "So would you like to move forward?" That's a mistake. You just became the seller again, undoing all your psychological positioning. We need a different approach. Instead of asking if they want to move forward, try this. "From everything you've just told me, I think this would work really well for you." The real question, though, is, does this feel like the right fit for what you're trying to accomplish? You've decided they're qualified, removing pressure. The only remaining question is whether they think it's right, completely reversing the dynamic. With the mirror close, you've already affirmed their qualification. Now, by asking them to decide, you create identity commitment. They commit to their own self-image as an action taker, someone who recognizes a good fit and moves forward. This leverages their internal desire to be consistent with their self-perception. After they say yes to the mirror close, confirm and reinforce their commitment. Say, "Perfect. Just so I'm clear, you're ready to implement this week, right?" Because like I mentioned, this only works if you're the type of person who takes action quickly. This reinforces their self-image as a fast implementer and creates a final powerful qualification hurdle. In 2013, researcher Christopher Carpenter analyzed 42 studies and found that adding the phrase, "but you are free," to requests significantly increased compliance rates. These 4 words, "but you are free," are incredibly powerful. They open the door to genuine choice and dramatically improve outcomes. This phrase works for 3 key reasons. First, it removes psychological pressure, eliminating the feeling of being sold to. Second, it acknowledges autonomy, making it clear they are in control, so there's nothing to resist. Third, it has a paradoxical effect. When people see a genuine exit and know they can walk away without judgment, they are more likely to stay and commit. You can apply this concept in various ways. Use variations like "you're free to choose," obviously no pressure, or "if you need more time, you're completely free to take it." The key is authenticity. If your offering of choice isn't sincere, it will backfire. This phrase empowers them rather than manipulates them. If someone hesitates after you've opened the door with, "but you are free," pull back even further. Say, "No problem at all. Take all the time you need. I'm here if you have questions later." In practice, most people will respond that they are ready, but offering this out reinforces their autonomy and often brings them back stronger. Let me share a real example. An initial contact led to a gatekeeper open. Criteria were revealed, and the prospect asked questions, not me pitching. The mirror close was used, followed by the final filter. The result? A $30,000 deal in 20 minutes, without a pitch deck or objection handling. The power dynamic completely shifted. To make this actionable, first, craft your gatekeeper open. Second, define your specific client criteria. Third, practice the mirror close until it feels natural. Fourth, master pullback language for when someone hesitates. Finally, reflect their words back to them to show understanding and readiness to solve their problems. For buyer agents, criteria might include being pre-approved and ready to view properties within 7 days. For listing agents, having a property ready to show within 2 weeks and being realistic about market values. For mortgage officers, stable employment history and readiness to provide documentation promptly. Define what makes an ideal client for you. First, your selectivity must be real. If you're willing to work with anyone, people will sense insincerity. Second, don't confuse confidence with arrogance. Being selective to ensure great results is different from acting too good for most people. Third, this doesn't work if you're desperate. Selectivity must come from genuine confidence in your results, not manufactured scarcity born from needing every deal. If you're in a position where you need every client, that's completely understandable. The key is to build confidence in your value and results. Even if you can't turn people away yet, you can still frame your conversations with a gatekeeper mindset, focusing on fit and qualification. Effective sales professionals stack multiple psychological principles together. Beyond the gatekeeper method, consider transformation framing to highlight client outcomes, objection reversal to turn concerns into commitments, and identity-based offers that appeal to who your clients aspire to be. These techniques amplify your impact. To make the gatekeeper method feel natural, practice. Say the phrases out loud, in the mirror, in your car. Repeat them until the language flows effortlessly. It needs to sound conversational and genuine, not rehearsed. Schedule your first practice session today. Consistency builds confidence. First, implement this immediately in your next client conversation. Second, track your results. Notice how prospects respond. Third, refine your approach based on what resonates with your specific market. Finally, stack additional techniques to create even more powerful client conversations. Stop chasing, start choosing, and watch your ideal clients pursue you with genuine commitment. Before you go, don't forget to download a copy of this presentation to make notes, study, and practice the techniques discussed in this training video. You can download the presentation from my training website. Until next time, I wish you the best in your endeavors.